yesterday.
What's that?
I forget yesterday.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So yesterday we started talking about sine law, and the topic is basically now we're moving away from right angle triangle. We're learning some strategies on how to find the angles or side length for a non-right triangles. Too many triangles. So yesterday I said that this is a kind of like an indication on how to spot or how to know when to use the sine law. So we said that to use the sine law, we have to have a complete pairings of side and angle. Okay, and we can see that, right? What? Complete pairing of side and angle. Okay, so this is how I do it. Like I match it up. So I have a complete ratio here. This one here is an half complete. One is missing, one is given. So we could, yeah. So that's where we were yesterday. And I encourage you to try questions 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to move on to the second part of that. So the same strategy that we're going to do solving. So to identify this, can I use the sine law for this? Let's see. Do we have a complete pairings of side and angle?
No.
Yes. Complete pairing. Oh, so yeah. I got this as a complete pairing, right? You got the side and angle.
So you don't need to have two,
right?
Only one.
Yeah, you have one complete. Yeah. And then this one here, as you can see, it's half complete. Half complete. So this is the one that we're going to actually use complete and then half complete to solve for the theta. So how do we do this? We set it up as A divided by the sine of angle A equals to B divided by the sine of angle B equals to C divided by the sine of angle C. The letters on the top, the little a, little b, little c, are all sides. And then the uppercase A, uppercase B, uppercase C are all angles. Okay, so we're not going to get them confused. So side is 36 divided by the sine of 60. And that's our complete one. Equals side B, which is 27, divided by the sine of theta, because we don't know what theta is. Now, we don't care about C and angle C because you can't have too many unknowns in one equation. You can only have one missing information in a single equation. Okay, before we figure out theta, okay? Before we figure out theta, is there a guess what kind of number we're going to get for theta? Do you think theta is going to be less than 60 or greater than 60? You're going to say greater than 60 or less than 60. And then the next question is why? Okay. Okay, first of all, what's your guess? Less than?
Less than.
Less than 60? Okay, now you got to answer the question, why?
Because it doesn't have pair, no pair.
Side is shorter.
The side is shorter. Okay? Exactly. The side is shorter. Remember last time I said the bigger the angle, if you have a big angle, your side, it opens up to a big side. If your angle is smaller, your side gets smaller. Demonstrate this using demonstrate this. This is my angle in between my, if I increase the angle, what happens to this rubber band? Stretched longer, isn't it? If my angle is smaller, what happens? Shorter. Smaller angle opens up to the small side. Big angle opens up to a big side. So you're already kind of, before you figure this out, you're already thinking, I should get an angle less than 60. Less than 60. Okay, so how do we solve for this? We're gonna cross multiply. Yes, cross multiply. We know how to do this because we talked about solving equations before. Cross multiply. So this cross multiply with 36. 36 times sine 60, sine theta rather, equals sine 60 times 27, so 27 times sine 60. Okay, so what are we going to do? We have to get rid of the 36 and we have to get rid of the sine. Okay, so how do we get rid of the 36 first? Divide by 36. Divided by 36. Okay, divide by 36. That cancels. So we're left with sine theta equals to 27 times sine 60 divided by 36. Okay. What's the next step that we need to do?
Inverse.
Inverse what?
The 27. No, sine.
Yeah.
Divide.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out the theta. Okay, how to do that, we have to get rid of the sine. So you gotta do the sine inverse. So theta is sine inverse of, let's go figure this out, okay, instead of retyping it again. Page 18. Yeah.
Data equals sine.
Hmm?
Why would you type?
Why did I put theta? Oh, okay. Because I'm going to go sine inverse, right? To get rid of the sine, you got to do the sine inverse, and that's gone. So I just have the theta. Okay. Sorry, I skipped a step and I didn't explain what I meant. Okay. Okay, all of that is 0.649. I'm going to take the sine inverse of that. I'm using answer on my button. So theta is equals to 40.51 degrees. Okay. So if the question calls for 2 decimal places, it would be 40.51 degrees. If the question asks for whole degree, it would be 41 degrees. Yes?
I just don't like, what did you put in the calculator?
Oh, what did I put? Okay, so here's what we could do. You can go sine inverse of 27 times sine 60 divided by 36. So typing it all in.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Or what I did is I figured this out and then I took the sine inverse after to get that one. So far so good? Yeah? One example might not be enough, so let's do 2 more. Let's take a look at example 5. Can I use, in your next practice review for the test, you're gonna be given a whole bunch of triangle and say solve for theta. So we have to kind of figure out, understand when can we use it. Okay, I can see a complete ratio and half complete ratio. Okay, so we're gonna set it up. Set it up. $62 divided by so we have the pairings in here, side and angle, side and angle. Okay, before we solve this, do you think theta is going to be bigger than 33 degrees or smaller than 33 degrees? Bigger. Oh wow, that was pretty fast and sounds very confident. The question is why? Wider side or larger side, correct. Okay, so now let's go and calculate it. So cross multiply, so 62 times sine of 33 equals to 39 times sine of theta. Okay. We're gonna slowly have the theta alone by itself. So divide by 39 to cancel the 39. And then we have to take the sine inverse to cancel the sine. Take the sine inverse. I'm going to do the sine inverse of that on both sides. So the sine and sine inverse cancel each other out. Just got the theta alone. Okay, so now let's figure this out. Okay, this is what I got. I got 59.98 degrees. Did you get that? Okay. If the question says 2 decimal places, that's what you write for 2 decimal places. If they ask for a whole degree, what would it be? If it's a whole degree, then it would be 60 degrees. How do you like that?
Only when you do your calculator, the hardest part that comes.
Okay, why don't you try it?
I did the first one 51. So
51.
yeah.
Oh, okay, no. Okay. Well, type it in and show me how you did it, and then I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
So if you didn't get 60 degrees in here, if you didn't get 59.98, you gotta let me know, because I don't know what's going on. So try it on everybody. Like, don't just. I'll give you an opportunity to type it in on your calculator if you get the same number. You know? Still no? Okay.
No, I wasn't. Bracket, I was.
Divided by 36. Okay, so try it again. Okay, anybody else that needs help with a calculator?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay, go. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Which one are we doing? This one? Okay, 62. Delete. 62.
You see it again.
Try this one. Get
Six. 4665. Six, yeah. 4665. Okay, you round it.
Angle over the side. Over the side.
Over the side, which one? Number one?
Three. It's different.
Why? Why is it different?
So the angle is the side. You have the side over here.
Yeah, I do have the side over here because that's how he told us. Yeah?
Yes, same answer now. It's the same answer.
But you did it in the other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But is that allowed to do that? Okay.
Okay, it's not 63 times the sine inverse. Sine inverse. Okay, brackets. Now type those in. Sine inverse first.
Oh, okay.
How do I input this? Because I get bracket sign, bracket
Okay. So we're gonna take the sine inverse of all of these equations. They automatically open some bracket for you.
Yes.
Now this brackets here, you can go for times, just times, because the brackets multiply, just multiply. You not take brackets, sine 33, and close that bracket. Divide by 30 again. If you want to close it.
Okay, so anybody else? Sometimes you got it set up and then you just, I want to say that what we're trying to do is we're trying to do the sine inverse of all of these things. Okay? So it's sine inverse of all of these things. So when you do the sine inverse, open up your brackets because we want to do the sine inverse of whatever this value is. Okay. So touch base with some more people and then we'll try the last one. Why don't you try setting up the next one if you're okay with it, and then we'll solve it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's just, yeah, that works good. But the essentials 40?
Elsie,
Their numbers.
Elsie,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean by putting all in sine inverse?
Yep. Okay. So you go sine
Yeah, I
inverse,
did it, but maybe she's.
sine inverse, right there. Okay. We're gonna take the sine inverse of all of these numbers. Okay, all of these numbers. Okay, so 62 times sine 33. You can do brackets, right? Divided by, and then I have to, your calculator opens up the bracket when I press sine. So we have to close that one. Divide by 39. Close it.
Yeah, that's how I did, but when you say that, maybe that's different. No, that's yours. That's how I did it.
Yeah, that's perfect too.
I thought another method. I thought you were telling another method.
Okay. Okay, so anybody else? Sometimes it's just getting to know your calculator, understanding how your calculator works. Okay? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the sine inverse of all of these value, all of these things. Right? Okay. So I hope you had time to, if you didn't, then let's try this together. Can I use the sine law here?
Yeah.
Can I use the sine law?
Yeah.
When do you use the sine law?
When you give him.
When there is a pair, complete pair of side and angle, right? So there's a complete pair of side and angle right there. So let's set it up. So you start with the side, 51 sine 28 equals 79 sine theta. You're going to cross multiply that. We know that, right, to get rid of the denominator. 51 times sine of theta equals to 79 times sine of 28. Okay. Divide by 51. Divide by 51. So you're left with sine theta is equal to 79 times sine of 28 divided by 51. So what we're going to try to do is to get rid of the sine, and to do that we have to reverse, called inverse sine, sine inverse. Sine inverse. So you're going to sine inverse all of these. Now, if we just do the sine inverse of 79 and not do the brackets, we're just only taking the sine inverse of 79, which is actually, it's going to be an error. So make sure you want to sine inverse all of these numbers. Okay, that's why you have to open up a bracket and then close it at the end. So go ahead again and try entering this and see if you get the same answer. Okay, what did you get? I'm not showing my answer yet.
46.65, so 47, did it?
40, 46.65. degrees. If it's whole degree,
47.
47 degrees. Let's check your. What's yours?
71.99. I guess we just use this again. The place on numbers.
Did everybody get 46.65 degrees?
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody who did not get 46? I'm gonna come and see your calculator. I'm gonna see you and check your calculator.
This double of the one that we passed, that we used to do one sine inverse, but this one, you have to do 1, 2, 3. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So before, when we do the sine inverse, it's just two numbers, right? Numerator, denominator. This one is like three numbers, yeah, or three different things.
And you forgot the multiplication.
Oh, okay, there you go. We figured it out. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. Certainly, you can continue on with the rest of these questions. If you didn't try 1, 2, and 3, I encourage you to try it because those are different questions. So I think just for today, it's going to be just that. And making sure everything is complete before you leave this classroom.
You said 1, 2.